Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Premier Division show. Another brilliant week of a League of Ireland action in the Premier Division. A lot of incidents and we'll get into them soon. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel as well. First game we're going to get into is Cork City and Drogheda United at Turner's Cross. Finished Cork City 1, Drogheda United 1. Cork City remain unbeaten at Turner's Cross this season. Drogheda United dropped to third but only a point off the two teams at the top. And this was a game where Drogheda would be very disappointed they didn't get the 3 points. They played with a lot of tempo for most of this game. Great intensity. Cork City, as Tim Clancy described himself, lacked composure and was their worst performance of the season. So they'll be delighted with the point, considering the performance they put in. Drogheda, as I said, will be disappointed. The two goals, Davis equalised in 63 minutes after Rory Keane had given Cork City penalty lead on 33 minutes. Now, there was a big incident after 2 minutes in the game, and a lot of people were up in arms over this, but no better man than to call Billy on this one. Billy, in you come. Now, Billy plays for Belvedere as a striker in the DDSL, and Billy, you might just explain to the people, the rule, basically. Off you go.
So when a defender or goalkeeper is about to take a goal kick and maybe just one or two people pressing, your foot's not allowed to be on the line at the start because the line counts as being in the box. So that's why the goal was disallowed, because Warren Davis' foot was on the line and it's just not allowed.
Basically.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Billy, and well explained, to be fair. Bye-bye, see you later. Great stuff. But look, he explained it perfectly there, and I think a lot of people didn't really understand the rules there, to be honest with you, in that particular situation. It's unfortunate for Drogheda, but look, I mean, the rules are the rules, to be fair. Yeah, the game itself, the penalty in 33 minutes came against the run of play. Rory Keane fires to the net for his third of the season, and I think it probably was a penalty. It's actually hard to see it really, really clearly, even in the slow-mo, which slow-mo replays can be a bit funny at the best of times. You need to see them in real time. But in real time, it's very difficult to see, but definitely strikes the hand of Bailey. He's far enough away from it, isn't he? So you can see why the penalty was given for sure. Drogheda had a host of chances before that, though. Did a shot cleared off the line. I think it might have been Bulger, actually. And again, Darragh Crowley, he cleared two off the line against Shelbourne a couple of weeks ago at Turner's Cross, and he does the same here. He's a knack for it. That's 3 this season for Darragh Crowley that he's cleared off the line. He got into a good position. Drogheda played really, really well in that spell, and into the second half. They'd be disappointed with Markey going off, picking up an injury. That's disappointing for them. But Luke Heaney comes on, and Kyle O'Sullivan's raiding down the right for Cork, and it gets cut out. And Drogheda counter-attack. It's a brilliant counter-attack, actually, and Heaney just runs through the heart of the midfield. Plays a good ball to Davis, which he kind of miscontrols a little bit to start off with. But he shows great initiative in the situation to be able to adapt to his miscontrol, if you like, and he cuts onto a left, and it's a beautiful finish past Truce in the goal. Truce himself made some good saves in the game, particularly late on from Heaney, which Lamb stands the ball up. Heaney comes onto it, hits it first time, decent strike in fairness, and the keeper Truce, who's been good for Cork City this season, does very, very well to make the save. And as I said, it's a weird one because Kevin will be delighted with the performance. Tim will be disappointed with the performance. But Tim will be the much happier with the result than Kev will. So he will. So, good performance for Drogheda United. Very good performance for Drogheda United. And Cork City, as I said, will hope to play better next week, to be honest. But finish Cork City 1, Drogheda United 1. At Turner's Cross. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Now, Dalymount Park, it finished Bohemians 0, Galway United 2. This is a match I vlogged in the mono stand, and the Galway fans, away support, certainly enjoyed this one. And going into the game, I predicted a draw, but I don't know why I did, to be honest, because I kind of thought, I had a suspicion Galway could win this game. I think I felt Bows have to get something, like, that kind of way, and a bit of a reaction after last week or whatever, especially at Daily Men. They can't keep losing at Daily Men, but they did, and they lost comfortably. I'm not a big fan of stats at the best of times, but when I seen one of the stats that Bows had 31 shots, I just went, no. How many good chances did Bows have in that match? Maybe two. Watts makes a very good save in the second half, in fairness, for Galway United. I tell you what, Clark will have a job getting back into those nets. But I found out later that 19 of those shots shown the stats were actually blocked shots from outside the box generally. I mean, Galway's goals, Moses Dyer has kind of burst onto the scene a little bit in the last few weeks. Got 3 goals now, but first goal was a good goal. Great cross, Bobby Burns. Beautiful header from Dyer. And then the second goal, he does very well, doesn't he? He gets beyond the defender, heads it down, and volleys it, lashes it into the corner. Past James Talbot. Nothing James Talbot can do about that. Brilliant finish. And Galway didn't have much possession, but they had another good chance in the game whereby Patrick Hickey, a Suey crosses this time from the right, and Hickey, decent save from Talbot, but straight at him. Hickey be disappointed he didn't find the corner. Find any of the corners is obviously a goal. But, I said it before coming into the game that you've got two teams. One I feel like is a team, and the other I feel like isn't a team, basically. And, the obvious result probably was that Galway would win this match. And you could see it when you were at the game. I don't know what Galway United or Bows fans would think, that you've got a team unit, a well-oiled machine in Galway United. Everyone knows their jobs. Everyone's willing to put themselves on the line. The 3 centre-backs are brilliant. Slevin, Bruder and Cunningham as a back three. They're brilliant. Against a team that you don't know what team they're going to play from week to week. McManus came in for this one. Bows with another host of changes as such, didn't they? And once again, just looking at Bows, there's no identity to the team. Even Sligo Rovers were at bottom of the league. I see identity there. Bows are the only team in the league, genuinely. I'm repeating myself every week nearly, like, that I don't see identity with. And I don't know what has to happen here. Does the manager need to go? Potentially. Because at this point, there should be some semblance of identity in the team. They just look like they're playing hopeful football. They don't look like they know how to break teams down, particularly a team like or Galway United at home. And it just looks all over the pitch clueless. I don't know if some players look a bit disheartened at this point as well. That's another side of it too. And I just don't know. I mean, it's not just the manager at Bows as well. It's that you just feel like the manager has very, very little control over who he gets as part of a coaching team, for example, etc., etc. So no matter whether you think a manager's good enough or not good enough, that kind of stuff isn't helpful at all to any manager. So, and we're talking about a league here, Galway being a prime example. We're talking about a league here whereby you're coming up against a lot of very good coaching teams, to be honest with you, at this point. And that's what Galway United are. Caulfield and Ollie Horgan as a coaching team are fantastic. They really are. And with Galway United, you just feel like, they're unbeaten. They're joint top of the league now, but they're unbeaten in 7 games. This is a league where it's very difficult to be unbeaten in, and they're unbeaten after 7 games. And looking at them there, like, we know the power they have. We know how organised they are. We know how well drilled they are. And we know that everybody knows their jobs. But if they can get Moses Dyer firing, and he's started to get a few goals, but if he can be a difference maker in that sense for them, who knows where they can go. We've seen it last year with Shelbourne, that a well-organised team unit went on to win the league. Do you know what I mean? Who didn't necessarily have all the possession in games. They were well drilled. And Galway are very similar. Do they lack maybe an individual or two maybe to actually go on and win the league? Potentially. But the way this league is and the way teams are so difficult to... it's a good league. There's a lot of strong teams overall in the league. You just wouldn't know. And they're certainly a contender for the top 4. That's without a doubt. Even after 7 games. Without question, they're a contender. Can they do more is the question. Maybe, who knows? But very impressed with them again on Friday night. Very unimpressed with Bows again on Friday night. And, that difference maker, as I said, with Dyer, The other side of it is John Caulfield has won the league as a manager, Cork City. So, he has actually won the league. He's been there and he's done it. So, anyone that's very difficult to beat in the league is going to go far. And Galway, obviously, are the most difficult team to beat in the league at this moment in time. They've had no defeats, and very impressed with Galway United. And, I talked about Shelbourne last season, how they were a real proper team unit. Galway United are a real proper team unit, as are Drogheda United, for example. And you don't have to have the ball all the time either, as those two teams can prove or have proven this season. And as I said, even with the set pieces from Galway United as such, it's all right. You can do drills all week, and you can defend maybe, I don't know, 15 set pieces very well. Galway United get one right, that's a goal. Do you know what I mean? They're not looking to win every set piece. If they get one right, that's a goal. And they didn't score from a set piece in this game, but I'm talking about in general, and it's an added weapon to any other goals you may score. You know what I mean? So, very impressed with Galway United. Let me know what you think in the comments if you're a Bows or Galway United fan. Now at the showgrounds, finished Sligo Rovers 1, Shelbourne 2, and this is Sligo Rovers' second defeat on the bounce at home. They remain bottom of the league, and it was a whirlwind start, really, wasn't it, from Shelbourne? Score after 3 minutes through John Martin, and then McEnroy scoring a good goal after 12 minutes when it looked like the chance was gone. Reece Hutchinson gives Sligo Rovers a bit of hope with a good goal right in half time after Owen Helding had set him up, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately, for Sligo Rovers. And Shells would be delighted to come away with the 3 points. It puts them at 12 points now, 4 points dividing the top 4 now. And Kerry McEnroy, that goal's been coming, has to be said. Just talk about that one first, because that goal has been coming the last few weeks. He's got forward from midfield and looked like had some chances. So that goal was coming. It was a bit of a counter attack, and the ball comes to him, and I thought the chance had gone, but he lays it left, comes back to him, and it's a lovely curled finish into the back of the net. Norris set him up there. But the first goal, or Sligo Rovers will be very disappointed. You're giving away a goal literally, in the first couple of minutes. And John Martin does well. He's opportunist enough to do well there and take the goal. But Van Hatten just plays it back, and I don't think he really has his head up, and to play a ball back like that, not really knowing your surroundings, is disappointing, and that fuels Shells, doesn't it, really, into having a good start, you could say. And they'll be very happy, Shells, to bounce back with that after a number of games, especially with the defence. Temple plays centre back. They know Paddy Barrett, no Sean Gannon, for example, in this particular game. So those two players are a big loss. Sean Boyd came on, and yes, that's right, he picked up his 5th yellow card this season after 7 games. And I don't think he's played all 7 games either. He certainly hasn't started, obviously, all 7 games. So he's going to miss the game next week against St. Pat's, which is a loss as well, I think, for Shelbourne, because actually Boyd seems to do very well when they play St. Patrick's Athletic. But that's for next week. But Shells, delighted. They'll be delighted with the win in this particular game. Sligo, as I said, Sligo Rovers will be very, very disappointed. But then you had the controversy of Cian Kavanagh's red card on 72 minutes. And for me, it's a terrible decision, actually, by the officials on this one. Cian Kavanagh's taking a shot on goal. Mark Coyle's brave. He comes out to try and close it down, as you'd expect, to be fair. And he closes it down brilliantly. Risk of getting hurt, of course. Cian Kavanagh catches him all right, there's no doubt about it, in the follow-through. But anyone who's played a game at any level will know that if you're taking a shot, there's going to be a follow-through. And I'm baffled that he got a red card for that. What are we supposed to do? Not take shots in around the box in case there's bodies in the box? If he hesitates in that shot, the chance is completely gone. Or the manager is John Russell saying, why are you not shooting there? He's decided to take a shot. Coyle comes out, probably doesn't even see him, because Coyle actually does brilliantly to come out. He gets out very, very quickly. And he puts his body on the line. Brilliant defending by Mark Coyle. Absolutely fantastic defending by Mark Coyle. Maybe stopped the goal. But Kavanagh's taken the shot, and obviously there's a bit of a collision. And he catches Coyle, but I'm sorry, if we're given red cards for that, we can't shoot. basically, if there's a player there in front of you. You just can't shoot. So if a player's coming out to block, what are you supposed to do there? And there's no way he could have pulled his foot back or anything like that. It's a ridiculous decision. It really is. And I do think there's decisions that officials get right, like the Drogheda one that they get lambasted for, actually. And we'll come on to maybe one or two later as well. But no, it's a ridiculous decision. There's no way that should be a red card. Never in a million years, is that a red card? And very poor decision there. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a Sligo Rovers fan or if you're a Shelbourne fan, let me know. Now, the RSC finished Waterford FC 1, St Patrick's Athletic 2, and this result is a brilliant result for St Patrick's Athletic, isn't it? Derry Leahy's own goal in 88 minutes, and Brandon Kavanagh's winner in 90 minutes gave Pats all 3 points. These are the type of results that you look at, and Shells had a few kind of like that last year, late winners, late equalisers, including up in Inchicore. But these are the type of games that you look at, and you kind of say, if teams are going to win championships, Rovers done this as well, you can play well and get your results, but these type of results build belief and character, in my view, as well. You're 1-0 down with a couple of minutes to go. Not only do you get an equaliser and you go and win the game, it's a massive 3 points. Massive 3 points for Pats. And, Podge Hammond had given Waterford the lead in 40 minutes, which was just a ridiculous header. An unbelievable header. Crossed by Burke. What a header by Hammond. And, it's not very often you'd say a goalkeeper's beaten basically from a header from more or less the edge of the box, and you're kind of saying the goalkeeper's no chance, because it's an unbelievable header for Hammond. There's always things you can do in a game to defend any goal better, like Pats could have got their press right or something like that. But if Hammond, I think Tom Gravossi's close to him at the time, if I'm Tom Gravossi, I'm happy enough Hammond is heading that there. Do you know what I mean? So that end up in the back of the net is unbelievable header by Hammond. Brilliant stuff. And Waterford deserved it. They were by far the best side, particularly in the first half, and probably not the mistake they made, but the disappointment from them would be maybe that they didn't get that second goal. It's always critical. You see a team dominating a game or dominating a phase of a game, and you're kind of going, if we get the second goal, we probably win the game. But you're always vulnerable at 1-0 up to the end. And that's what happened pretty much in this match. And notably, Aidan Keenan was missing for the game. I still don't know why. I was trying to do some digging. I'm not really sure why. Was he sick or injured, or how long is he out for? There was no mention in the build-up notably either. So that's interesting. But no Aidan Keane. Amelia played in this game and won that free kick. But the 88-minute goal, I think Waterford did panic a little bit in the last couple of minutes, to be fair. Pats piled on the pressure. They made a lot of changes. The likes of McClelland was on the pitch. They went very attacking, actually. They had 4 attackers essentially on the pitch. Carty was on at this point as well, and Simon Perr, the 2 centre-forwards with 2 wingers. And McClelland was left back, you know what I mean? So it was quite attacking for St. Pat's, and they went for the juggler and it paid off. And it was a good ball in by Kavanagh. Leahy's been unlucky with that header with the OG, to be honest. Nowhere near as good as Ammon's header, by the way. But he was unlucky because it's a beautiful ball in, great ball in by Kavanagh, and it's difficult to deal with for defence. And it's an OG. Brandon Kavanagh's free kick after Amelia was fouled. Right at the death, brilliant free kick, and it's a massive win for Pats. Sometimes, or a lot of the time, I say, you could go down, Pats could have went down to Waterford, let's say, and put in their performance of the season, for example, let's say, and say they win 4-0. This is a better result for them in many ways, I think, because, Pats are top of the league at the moment. It's all very tight, of course, but they haven't started absolutely brilliantly by any means. But that's the position they're in. When we talk about how Drogheda and Galway United, for example, have started very, very well, Pats have been okay, but they're still in amongst that pack, you know what I mean? There's 4 points between the top 4. So they'll be happy with that. But at the same time, I think they'll know they have to be performing better generally. But it's a massive win. As for Waterford, very disappointing. Very disappointing. The only team who haven't drawn a game this season, and with 2 minutes to go, they wouldn't have taken a draw in this match, remarkably. But that's what basically transpired, really. And they'd be disappointed. To be fair, they'd be disappointed with the result. But when they strip everything back, they'd be happy. Should be happy enough with the performance, a better performance than it had in the last few weeks. And I believe that if they put in a similar type of performance in the next game or two, they will get results. So they have to park it now and look at that and look at the positives, because there is positives there for Waterford FC. A win would have been fantastic for them, of course. Would have put them ahead of Bats, and that's how tight it is at the moment. But yeah, they'll be disappointed, but fantastic result for Stephen Kenny's men. Now, finally, Tal Stadium finished Shamrock Rovers 0, Derry City 0, and I definitely didn't expect a 0-0. I think I said in the preview I felt Rovers would win. They'd a few more match winners maybe on the park, but I wasn't sure who was going to be available, being honest with you, in terms of their attacking players. And we still didn't see Mandrew come back, etc. Byrne came on at half time. Gaffney came on a bit earlier as well after 16 minutes. So we're starting to see them guys return. Derry City, though, I think interesting. Danny Mullen starts up front for this game, by the way. I spoke how did it go with Liam Boyce because he's been disappointed. Not only the goals, you can score no goals and still kind of perform, but I think he's been disappointing so far, to be honest. Mullen gives you a bit more of a he's more mobile for a start, isn't he? He started the game. We'll get on to him later, though. And they continue with that back three. They'll be happy in terms of that's 2 games on the bounce now, Derry City, where they've picked up away from home clean sheets. Do you know? They picked up clean sheets. So they'll be happier with that. And they're starting to look a bit more solid now at the back and off the ball and that kind of stuff, which is something they were all over the place in the first few games, to be honest. So that's a good thing for Derry City. They can definitely do more going forward, we know that, but it's a good point for them to go to Tal Stadium and get a draw on the back of that win in the showgrounds. And as I said, 2 clean sheets and the bounce is a massive foundation to be able to build on. So they'll be very happy with that. Shamrock Rovers will be disappointed. Stephen Bradley himself said that they were quite flat in the game, and they were disappointed enough with the performance, but notably the sendings off as well. I mean, the first sending off comes after 24 minutes when Ed McGuinty gets sent off, and the minute I seen it, no debate, it's a red card. And Stephen Bradley, to his credit, said it was daft and the red card was the right decision. So their own managers even admitting it, which is nice to see and refreshing to see, by the way. I don't know what he's thinking, Ed, there. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, he could easily just sweep that away with his foot, couldn't he? Which is the best thing to do there, really, isn't it? It takes out any jeopardy, but he probably thinks he can get away with it, as in it's going to roll into the box. But as I said, there's too much jeopardy there, and he handles the ball in the line, and it's a red card all day, and they have to reshuffle then Rovers, which doesn't help their cause. But Derry City will be disappointed in terms of Danny Mullen picking up a second yellow in 41, because if there's one thing that would annoy me as a manager is the opposition have gone down to 10 and now you've got a player sent off. It's very disappointing. The second yellow for Mullen, it's a second yellow all day. It's one of the easiest decisions you'll see as well. He stopped the counter-attack. It's as simple as that. I think it was Aaron Green on the turn was running the space, and he's fouled him. And it doesn't matter if it's a bad foul challenge or just, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a bad challenge. Let's say he's fouled him. And it's a second yellow, and Tiernan Lynch kind of complained a bit about it, but I'd like to think behind closed doors he's kind of annoyed with the player there in that situation, particularly when you're against 10. There's a chance of maybe going on to try and win the game in the second half. And it was probably a poor enough match. It was fairly flat, as I said, and I don't know if the 2 Reds, you'd think the 2 Reds might open the game up actually a little bit. Didn't really do that though. Derry seemed to be content enough with a point in the second half. Rovers were quite flat, as I said before, and Danny Mullen, disappointing to pick up the second yellow there. And again, I think the referees got that. The officials have got it right there, because if we weren't giving yellow cards for preventing a counter attack, players would be doing it every 2 seconds. It's there for a reason. So what can you say? But overall, I think he'll be the happier overall. Probably Derry City being away from home, as I said, good foundation with the 2 clean sheets, and they'll hope to get a result, win next week at home, which will make even those 2 away games in a row they've had look even better, to be honest, if they can come back and win at the Brandywell next week. Shamrock Rovers, they're, I wouldn't say they're drift, because they've got game in hand as well at home to Cork City, which probably expect them to win that, to be honest with you. But they're they're still stuttering a bit, aren't they? And they don't want to get too far behind. Now, Pat's plays Shelbourne next week, so Shamrock Rovers will be hoping to gain on them. But also, they travel to Galway United next week, so that's an opportunity for Shamrock Rovers to reel in Galway United. But look, that's going to be a very difficult game, and that's for another day. But yeah, but let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think about the controversial decisions. Let me know what you think about the games overall. What game are you at the weekend as well? Let me know in the comments. And we'll see you later. Thank you.